Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm here to talk about a study I've done into business communication. In this essay, I will identify, analyze, and report on two sources of business communication. One that demonstrates excellent communication in delivering the business message, and the other a poor communication in delivering the business message. Is any attention good attention? That is one of many interesting topics that I will take up in this essay. The way that I've chosen to study this is through two TV commercials from two different clothing companies. I'll get back to more about that later on. First, I'd like to start with communication is usually common sense, but as you see in this study, it's not always used right. So what is good communication? From looking at this book, Communicating as Professionals, is made by Raymond Archie, Miragurni, Terry Mohan. It's the third edition, came out in 2013. They take up some good points of explaining what good communication really is. I will read up a few of them to you. Be clear about the reason for communication and take responsibility for your communication. Organize the message to achieve your purpose. Be clear about your meaning. Use the medium of communication to the best advantage. And lastly, frame the message to allow for any special features of the receivers or context in which the communication occurs. So as I mentioned earlier, I was chosen to study two commercials of two different companies. So I'm going to talk a bit about the two companies. The first company that I've chosen is Marshalls. Marshall described themselves as your go-to for this season's hottest trends. They are an American-based off-price retailer, and they have approximately 880 stores in 43 states and an online store. So they're quite big. The products are everything from shoes and dresses to home designs, and they sell to men, women, and kids. The way that Marshall describes how they obtain their products are when department stores order too many products or designer take in too much, our buyers swoop in to negotiate a deal, bringing the top labels into our store for a whole lot less. So that was a bit about the Marshall company. Moving on to the second company that I've chosen, Divine Rags. Divine Rags is a women's clothing company. They started out in Memphis, USA, 2007. The main focus was on high-end, fashion, celebrity certified clothing, and has since then grown to a worldwide distributor. They sell their clothes to physical stores, have opened a few around the world in Paris and so forth, and on their well-designed website. Divine Rags has a big variety of dresses, pants, tops, and so forth. And as a lot of companies today, Divine Rags market their products mostly via social media and ads like the one you see in the essay. I've chosen to study these through a few types of communication. The first one is ethics. If the commercials are up to communication ethical standard. Another one is communicating to the right audience. Analyze what customer target segmentation the commercials are meant to target and what they actually target. Getting the business message out. What way the company is trying to get it out and how well they did it. Also non-verbal communication. What non-verbal communication can be found in the commercials and how it affects the message. the business that they're trying to get out. And lastly, humour. What humour can be found in the different commercials and how they used it to promote their business. When looking at these two different commercials, you will get two completely different reactions. If we start up by comparing the quality of the filming, Marshalls have really done well. They have a well thought out, and the way they shoot the commercial is really nice, and it's a nice environment. If we look on Divine Rags commercial, it's been shot in really poor quality, and it looks like it's been shot in the basement of a strip club. Yeah. The way that I think this has a big impact on the way that the businesses are perceived. The good quality communicates that they have put a lot of effort into it, and that the company care about their appearance. If we're moving on, when I look at the Vine commercial, I think more about how inappropriate the guy acts. The way you rather focus on the way he acts than what they're actually trying to promote. The way he acts towards women, the language that he uses, a non-verbal point of view where he acts disrespectful and rude. For example, when he tells one of the women off with his hand. The non-verbal communication tells a story by itself, and you always have to be aware of how you present yourself. That brings us to the target market that both businesses have, women. Okay, if you're trying to promote your business towards women, it might not be the best way by disrespecting them to do so. Yeah, come on, really? In the Marshall commercial, we see a very nice, polite, and humorous representative of the business. They have an exciting story to tell, and the way that the actor acts and speaks indicates that Marshalls are a respectful, reliable, and efficient business with good service. And if we move on to humour. Humour is another way of communication that can really be helpful in promoting your business if used in the right way. If used in the right way. In the Marshall commercial, we can see a good example of how it can be used to enhance the picture of the business. In Divine Rags, it's quite hard to actually difference between what's meant to be humorous and what is not. When using humor to promote something, if it's a product or the business itself, you always have to think hard and evaluate whether it's actually funny. Does people find it funny? And more important, if it offends people or not. Is any attention good attention? Well, when you research Divine Rags commercial on the internet, you find a very big range of different opinions. If you type in the worst commercials on Google and search, it will come up in most of the pages as in top 10. But then again, if you look on YouTube, it has more than 500,000 views and is getting a lot of attention, like comments and so forth. But what does this really do to the brand though? The business brand awareness is expanding, but the brand itself is being portrayed as a low standard, non-ethical joke of a company really. I think the commercial might bring some customers in short terms, but in the long term, I think it will do more harm than good to the business. I certainly believe that it would be more efficient to make a good impression and try to market your business brand in a positive way. Think hard about the message you're trying to deliver, that it really represents your business and that it follows the guidelines of communication. Focus hard on what target market you're trying to influence and how to do so in the best way. Also consider the ethical point of view. It's really important. And last but not least, if you're going to use humour, make sure it's funny. Thank you very much and have a nice day.